I was born in 1949, and I currently live in the home that I was born in, which means quite a bit to me. My mother was born in 1906 in Maitland, but at that time it was really Eatonville because there was no distinction between Eatonville and Maitland. Prior to my mother, my grandmother was born here. They moved here in the early 1900s. And my grandmother married M.F. Thompson, which was Mansfield Thompson, who bought a large tract of land, and it was called Thompson Subdivision. So we lived with my grandparents, and my grandfather and my grandmother, every time they got a paycheck, they bought an orange tree until they had really amassed a large grove of orange trees. So having grown up with my grandparents, my father was an alderman at one time, and my mother was a school teacher. And I should go back to say that my grandmother graduated from Hungerford Normal. She took cooking, and she got a certificate in cooking. My mother graduated from Hungerford. It was still Hungerford Normal at that time. And my sister, my brother, and myself, all of us graduated from Hungerford. I think the sacrifices that were made, I mentioned my grandmother's siblings were Jones. One of them was the chief of police for the town of Eatonville. And I think all of them wanted the town to be the best that it could be. So whatever it took, you know, with the church, my mother and my father were, my father was a trustee for St. Lawrence and actually was involved in building the new church. So I think they believed in their community. The town was built on 4 pillars, one being religion, one being education, one being community, and the other one being government. So those 4 things were very important, and I think that my family tried to instill those things in any way that they could. This project is very important because of the fact that our children will be able to view and listen to the stories. We have young kids who are very proud, and they have tattooed 1887 on their arms or on their chest or whatever. But when you ask them, what does 1887 mean? They can tell you, well, it's Eatonville. Like, you know, you ought to know, you know, it's Eatonville. But then when you ask them, what about Eatonville? They don't know. They don't know about the history of Hungerford School, that it was patterned after Tuskegee Institute. They don't know about George Washington Carver having a major role in Hungerford. They don't know about Booker T. Washington being involved in Eatonville, or Mary McLeod Bethune. These were leaders. These were our founding leaders who all had a part of Eatonville and thought it was important that they give their time and their effort and their talents to make this town what it is today. So I think that this project is important because we need to tell our children. If we don't tell our children our story, if we don't tell our children our history, then they will never know it. Eatonville got its name from Josiah Eaton. Josiah Eaton lived in Maitland and took Joe Clark under his wing. Joe Clark is the primary founder of Eatonville. And because of Josiah Eaton, Joe Clark was able to purchase land because African Americans, or Negroes at that time, could not buy land. So Josiah Eaton and Captain Lawrence made land available to Joe Clark so that he could purchase the land And then after purchasing it, he could then sell it to other African Americans at that time. So that's where we got the name from, Eatonville, from Josiah Eaton. And St. Lawrence got its name from Captain Lawrence. For the 29 men that founded the town, I owe them a great deal of gratitude because they started a town that provided opportunities for many. Hungerford was, I thank Mr. Hungerford for donating the land, because had it not been for Hungerford, many children would not have the self-esteem and would not believe that they could do anything, because that's what our teachers taught us. That was the special thing about Hungerford. You had teachers who worked hard and who told you that if you get yourself a good education and you apply yourself, you can be anything that you want to be. And we believe that. And many of us went on to do that. And had we not been given, that kind of motivation, or if they hadn't believed in us, who knows what we would have turned out to be. My brother, whom I'm very proud of, has ended up having a PhD from Brown University and an MD from Albany Medical School. Ended up coming to become an orthopedic surgeon, all because of what one teacher or several teachers at Hungerford said that he could be. And he's not the only one. There have been many others that have grown on the backs of those who came before. And had they not done what they did, we would not be what we are today. So I say thank you. I say thank you to them. I say thank you to my family. And I try every day to live my life in a way that would respect the things that they did for me.